Jack Ebling and Lindsay Huddleston here at Michigan Stadium with the Press Pass preview. The beatdown is over. Michigan 44, Michigan State 10. Spartans led 7-0 at the end of the first quarter, and you hope that Michigan State fans took a picture of the scoreboard because that was the last good news they had all day.
It was promising at that point, but quickly things went downhill to the very, very end.
Once again, we saw the Michigan State defense give up so many big plays, could not get off the field, allowing Michigan to convert 8 of 13 third downs. Michigan State just 2 of 13. Michigan State had punts in all but 2 series that they didn't turn the ball over. Also had a punt blocked.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan only punted the ball 1 time all day.
Yeah, and Michigan was feeling real good about themselves to the very end. They got a little chippy not only during the game, but even after the game as they took the Paul Bunyan Trophy out. I talked to Tyreek afterwards. I said, what happened? He said that he felt that they were very unsportsmanlike because they came over to the Michigan State sideline to taunt them. Yeah, they did. And Coach Harbaugh had to come back on the field to get his guys to get them out the door.
There was a lot of taunting in the game. In fact, both teams had more than 90 yards in penalties. Michigan had 3 penalties on 1 play. Michigan State had back-to-back personal fouls on the same play, cost them 30 yards on what looked like a promising score time. But once again, 40 I said Shea Patterson was going to throw for 300 yards. He nearly got 400 yards.
Wow,
against this Michigan State secondary. And once Josiah Scott went out with that injury early in the game, plays, Michigan State could not compete, and gave up 369 yards last week through the air to Illinois, 384 I believe today. You can't win games when your secondary is that porous.
No, you can't. You look at those penalties for both teams. You don't like that, but it's such an emotional game. Probably for one team more than the other. You have one team, both I guess, trying to salvage the season. Players did not want to walk out of here and have to walk around Ann Arbor for another year. They were kind of so emotional, unfortunately, getting those penalties, but it worked out based on how the scoreboard looked.
Biggest loss to Michigan in the Mark D'Antonio era is 13 games and loses for just the second time in 6 games here in Michigan State. But the bottom line to this is against Ohio State, Wisconsin, State, Michigan, 4 games that Michigan State's really measured against, outscored 44-24.
Talked to a number of players afterwards. I remember talking to Raekwon Williams, and one thing he said, we got 2 more games left, so you have this senior leader still holding out hope to try to finish strong, but I just think it's going to be hard for the Michigan State to keep their head up and keep pushing. What do you think?
Basketball season.
Wow, trying to get on the road, go enjoy that.
See if there's anything football that's over basketball. Michigan State doesn't after the win over Seton Hall Thursday night. But that would be a big disappointment. We need to win 3 more games. Record up to 6. After going 36-5 over a 3-year span.
I mean, it just speaks to the story of sports. You can have great ups, and then you have some great lows. We've seen extreme in a very short amount of time. So the only concern is, what can they do these next 2 games, and what can they do to rebuild for the future?
Well, and that's the question. There's so many questions. Michigan State had a team-dominated team. I'm not getting it done either. When you figure out what Michigan State did in its first 4 games defensively and what it's done over the last 6 games, it's allowing about 38 points a game.
And that's tough because the Michigan defense was something they hung their hat on. That was their trademark. That kind of got them through the toughest times. And when you have defense needs to and have a very low output offense, you're just really kind of spiraling right now, it seems.
Once again, just one takeaway for Michigan State, and that was not even by the defense. That was on a special teams play on a long punt return by Donovan Peoples-Jones. But You can look at any area of play, and Michigan was the better football team. Ran the ball slightly better, threw the ball much better, was better defensively, better in terms of pressure. One area they were about even with penalties.
Let's talk about this game. I heard an alum from University of Michigan talking about early on in the rivalry between Michigan and Michigan State. The one time that Michigan State was successful in conference, they talked about how they had to hear about it everywhere they went. And I think this Michigan team did not want that to happen. And that was evident in their execution, their follow through, and that wasn't the case for Michigan State, unfortunately.
Well, there will be a lot of Michigan fans who will never recover from the of 2015 and 2017 here, but for the first time in 5 games in this series, the home team wins, and wins convincingly. It looked a little bit like 49-3 in Bobby Williams last year. We don't know what is ahead for Mark D'Antonio, don't know what his disposition is. Some indications are that he wants to come back and try to right the ship. It's a pretty big ship, and there's a lot of writing that needs to be done.
You know, and big ships don't turn on a dime. You need a lot of room and a lot of space to turn on. So you wonder if we hit a low at Michigan State that they won't be able to recover from to get back to those college playoff times and those Rose Bowl opportunities, at least in this era.
Yeah, that hadn't happened for 40 years before, other than a year here, a year there. Michigan State had 40 years of what I call sub-mediocrity, just about a 500 record, and when you throw out the games they should win against lesser opponents, tough to say it was much for 4 decades. And Mark D'Antonio comes in, and he has 6 seasons, double-digit wins. He has the 3rd most 11-win seasons in Big Ten history. So there's no questioning what he has done. The question is, what can he still do?
What can he still do? And one example, what would you say your take is on how he responded to questions in the press conference, considering what's going on with the season right now?
I thought that the media job it was relatively tactful. I thought he answered questions. He answered some that were potentially tough. He answered mine.
He did.
And
whoever's going to answer your question, Jack.
I didn't know how he would respond to that, but you are outscored the way he has been. Again, 144-27. Ohio State, Wisconsin, Penn State, and Michigan. Those are the games he's paid to win. Those are the games he's paid to at least be competitive. And the thing that fans hate more than losing is being embarrassed. Being humiliated. It's the water cooler stuff. It's a deal with the brother-in-law.
Yes.
It's their deal. It's the holidays.
The holidays
right?
are coming.
Even a spouse, it can be tough. So these are the things that Michigan State's going to have to deal with. There are no easy answers.
No.
You don't just snap your finger and suddenly the Messiah walks in and things are back the way they were. It didn't work that way with Mark D'Antonio.
Right.
It took him 4 years before everything clicked. And right now, Michigan State is going to have some tough times and probably going to get worse before it gets better.
Right. Well, there was one good thing. It's a day game. We won't get home too late.
That's true. And we have basketball again Monday night before Michigan State leaves for Maui.
Yes.
Charleston Southern. And we will be back on Press Pass. Looking forward to that tomorrow night. Tom Crawford, will he be happy or what?
So happy, sure. This came early for Tom, right?
He was so nervous before the game. Tom Crawford, Rico Beard will be there, and Stephen Brooks from 24/7 Sports. And then you'll be back with us the following Sunday.
Absolutely. Looking forward.